What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Big 12 Team Builder Dynasty. We've got the first Wednesday preview video for the week ahead. We're going to take a look at some recruiting, and honestly, I am excited to be back. It's about time that I'm back, and
yes, welcome back.
Yeah, you've been doing a good job in the video, so
thank you. Appreciate it.
Pat on the back there, so good job. But let's go ahead and not make this thing too long. Let's go first and take a look at Ardmore's recruiting board right here.
We got to go through 12 teams, so we'll make it snappy. But you guys, this will be your first look at what's been going on for the last 6 weeks in Recruitingville.
We do have some updates on some of your recruits.
Yes. So let's start off. Mike Brady out of Colorado. You see there, Denver's #1, and you are 4th. But you're still well within striking distance.
This is the guy that we want, though. Jeff Cooper, this defensive end. He looks really good, 6'5", 283. McAllen's in the lead, though, by 1,280. They've already had a visit, though. 950 was their score. If we can kind of chip into that, that'd be nice. Joe Simon, nice little athlete there, down 860. I don't know if we're going to get this guy either. So there's going to be some points. They're going to be coming back to us in the next few weeks if we can't land some of these guys.
Yeah, Gerald Hicks, one of those guys, probably
we pulled off.
Not going to get. This guy was surprising. I thought that he was going to be headed to Ardmore. He's from Ardmore. Buchanan Simmons.
You know, Denver Tech is our main rival.
Yeah, why is he going
So why is he going to Denver Tech?
Oh, come on, man. But, you know, hey, don't count out Broken Arrow or ACU or, dare I say, even Oklahoma. Carl Boyd, you need some cornerbacks. That's why you're still going hard after Carl Boyd.
Yeah.
You got to stay in the race there. Gerald Anderson, between you and Shreveport. Gibbs, like, you need that secondary help really bad. Evan Towns, look at who's in the lead for 4-star guard.
Yeah.
Brandon McKinney at linebacker, you're in a fight with Little Rock. Jimmy Bergstrand, Hugo, Oklahoma. How many people do you think live in Hugo, Oklahoma?
500.
That's a good guess.
Daniel Smith, #7, strong safety. So our board isn't too impressive right now. It's got a lot of good players on the board, but
a lot of what-ifs right now.
It's very variable right now, and it's kind of concerning, though, because we want some of these guys like Orion Bradshaw. We want
some of those custom players.
Simmons. Yeah. It's gonna be tough. Harold Reed Jr. You guys can see that. Camu, ACU, Ardmore on his board.
Cam is well in the lead. And Nebraska State's going really hard after Eric Washington because their secondary is miserable, as you see there. And then you got some guys down here. Ian Hyven, first look there. Broken Arrow, well in the lead.
Yep, we decided to pull off of him. And Rigoberto Rodriguez seems like he's liking
Ramirez.
Oh, yeah, I keep doing that. Rigoberto Ramirez seems to really be liking McAllen.
Yeah, we think he's going to be a lot better than his rank. He's a 1-star out of Utah. I think 57, I think that's really selling him short. We'll see.
Might be pulling with Jake Lewis Jr., if you guys remember that name.
All right, let's check out Nebraska State. We got some new additions here. I got this 82 tight end as a JUCO. And you see here, he's not really looking at anybody. I would love to have any talent anywhere on the football field. So I'm adding him to the board. This guy is kind of our star recruit that we want to seal the deal on out of Junction City, Kansas.
You don't need quarterbacks.
But look at this guy. He's
not
deciding. That's exactly why. I like the dreads. I like the name. I like the state. He's a football player from Connecticut. Bubba Robinson, 4 stars, and he's very non-committal. So I think maybe we can swoop in and might be able to take him. This guy, another huge recruit out of Niles, Illinois, Brody Clement. How much you want to bet he plays quarterback? How much do you want to bet? Yep, throw power, throw accuracy.
Well, he's got the B speed, too, so, I mean, he can run a little bit. He's like your little Shinosky in the making.
Yeah. So you see here, I added some JUCOs just this week. We're going to see what happens. He's out of Missouri. Hopefully we can get him. Anthony Hines, a safety from Nebraska.
Be a good get.
Dale Brooks, another guy that we're just adding. I see Ardmore's on the list there.
Yeah, we're not even really doing much on him.
Yeah. James Goolsby, center. So you can tell here a lot of offensive line secondary is kind of our focus. Eric Washington, one of our custom guys. Dane McDonald, added. We got a pretty healthy lead on him, so I'm going to scale back for the time being. And Ben Sutherland was just added. You know what? I'm going to do it.
Oh, you're going hard? Okay. Yeah. All right.
Hopkins, McCoy were pretty good in the lead there. Actually, this class is shaping up.
So Stephen Cuss is actually doing a good job this year, it seems like.
Yeah, our recruiting last year was a total disaster. See here, Joe Sloan. I think we're going to end up getting Joe Sloan out of La Crosse, Wisconsin. And we just dumped Ramirez. Ramirez was on our board. We can't get him. So, unfortunately. But that's the board. I like how it's shaping up, actually.
An always interesting recruiting board. The Spartans, taking a look at all of their guys. Look at all these players, man. 86 Paris Austin, 82 Prairie, 81 Bonner.
Well, Prairie is that
nuts.
JUCO, so it might come down to ACU versus Nebraska State for Shane Prairie, hopefully. But Hassan Bonner, still within striking distance, minus 490, but Penn State is the top dog. We got visits, though, coming up, Denver and ACU. Hopefully, one of our teams can make a move. We have to get this guy. This guy's like a next-level talent.
Yeah, and looking at where he's at with Penn State too. I mean, that's like running back in the last couple of years with Miles Sanders and Saquon.
Yeah, and these guys too, Joel Young and Matt Gross. They're gonna have a crowded backfield for the Spartans. Buchanan Simmons, well within distance there. John Johnson, we got another one. Cedric Jacques, minus 600 there. Larry Butler, I think's a lost cause. I'm just keeping him on the board for now. Just see whatever happens. Nick Mays, another running back. Smith at safety. Nicholson, we got to get this guy. He's really obsessed with Iowa for some reason, but I want to make a move on him, either Denver or ACU, hopefully. Josh Cook, we scaled back on. Shreveport in the lead there. Darren Madison, want to get him. Akobo, way behind. Larry Covington, just added to the board. Looking at McAllen. Trevor Kennedy, we lost. We lost him, folks. He was one of our custom players, and he just committed to South Carolina a couple weeks ago.
Kind of a tough draw, though. I mean, he is from Florida, so obviously a little bit on that East Coast, trying to recruit somebody to come out to that Western geographical area in the Big 12. It's kind of a tough draw, and that's just the way it goes. For a guy that wants to play, I mean, that's probably something he was looking into.
But South Carolina's pretty good in our dynasty, so they are looking good, recruiting well. Yep. Evangelo Jones out of New Mexico. Top 3 teams here, CAMU, Denver Tech, and ACU. Looking like a CAMU signee, but we will see. Colby James is that JUCO. So just added to the board. Ryan Hayden out of Calgary, Alberta. So you see here, ACU Shreveport, Ardmore Cameron.
I kind of want that guy, though, because when Jake Wood is gone, I know that he's been our fullback, but he's pretty much a running back. This guy, Ryan Hayden, would be a nice mix for us.
Oh, yeah. I agree. Kadir Childers-Harris, well within distance here. He's looking at OSU, Amarillo, Midland, so a couple of good options there. Harold Reed, we just scaled back on. He's going to look like a CAMU commit. Scott there at guard. Got Gibson, Washington. Pretty close, pretty tight there. Scroggins, Ricky Scroggins, first appearance. He's looking at Amarillo, Odessa, ACU.
Come on.
Now, Jean-Luc Martin, we gave up recently, a couple weeks ago. McAllen just pulled ahead, especially with their recent visit. Now, they are way in the lead there.
McAllen is actually really taking it to the next level this season.
Recruiting, yes. Yeah, absolutely. Colton Yo, we're way behind on Colton Yo. Just getting ready to bail there. But he is looking at some of our team builder squads, so that's good. Chi-Chi, our guys are way behind on Chi-Chi, Montoya. Like Houston, SMU, way out in front. But we got visits coming, Amarillo, Odessa, so hopefully we'll build up some ground there. And that's the board right now for ACU. All right, Denver Tech's board. What do you think about this? You got a lot of talented players here.
He's okay. You guys know that I'm a top rival here with Denver Tech. Yeah. I don't want to lead off with Denver Tech. I
tried to get him to introduce Denver Tech's board, and he didn't want to do it.
I don't want to do it. I want you to talk about Denver Tech. These are your babies, and I'm just going to talk bad about them. Now you're asking me what I think. I'll tell you what I think. 700 on Buchanan Simmons. That's the guy I want. That's the guy we need.
Well, let's talk about this. Nick Burns out of Texas. We're down by 1,300 to Ohio State. We got a visit coming up week 12. Hopefully he doesn't sign, but I don't think it's looking good right now. Mike Brady, guy that you are in contention with. Number 1 school is Denver Tech. Hassan Bonner, number 2, Denver Tech. Chris Moore out of Virginia. This one's tight between USC and Denver. He's got a visit with USC first, though. Not looking good there. Akobo, well behind on Akobo. And Buchanan Simmons might sign there. Andre Brandt, another 5-star athlete. Tony Barnes, looking at Odessa McAllen. We're way behind. Not too concerned there. Craig Reed out of Utah, 4-star athlete. And Nicholson, I think we might get Nicholson. This guy, Chris Brandt. McAllen right now is desperate for offensive linemen, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Dominic Wilson was just added the board, but he is looking at MSU pretty hard. I don't know if we can pick that up. Daniel Smith, again, between you and Denver. Antoine Taylor already signed, linebacker. Evangelo Jones, we're punting. We're going to give him to Camu. Trinigan at tackle. So Denver also needs to reload on the offensive line. So they just added this guy, Mark Bush, and they just added Scott Copeland. So they need some help there. Kadir Childress Harris. We have to put Childs Harris on here.
It wouldn't fit.
I think we might just call him Childs Harris.
It's all right.
That works.
It's all right. It just didn't fit.
So Brandon Wiley. Look at this. Only a 3-star player. And he's looking pretty good. Eric Washington. And another guard out of Utah. So a couple guys down here. Colby Bolton looking at Broken Arrow. Colton Yo. Midland really needs the cornerbacks. That's why they really want to go after him. And then you see, again, more linemen. And well behind on Rigoberto. So that's the board right now for Denver. What do you think?
It's always a solid board for Denver Tech. I think they're doing pretty good. But I'm coming for them. And some of the guys that we're looking at. Amber Wave is rolling right now, guys. In season, recruits are starting to come on in here. It's really good to see that Kansas A&M is getting it done. Evan Towns, yes. Nebraska State, making a big splash here, but they're not going to let you just waltz right in and steal a number 5 4-star guard from them. They're going to make a push.
Out of the backyard.
Right.
In Kansas.
They're going to make a push. They're going to keep coming here. So 6'2" athlete, the number 51 athlete, but he's a 4-star player. So they got to fight off Broken Arrow and McAllen. Here's a tight end, Albert Willis, the number 10. He's in second place for Kansas A&M.
That'll help with their new passing game too.
And if they don't grab him, Little Rock could use him too. Kyle Robinson, athlete, 75. Matt Russell, they're in third place for him. He's from Cleveland, Ohio, and he's considering Minnesota.
Yeah, we got to make up some ground on him there. And then fullbacks, they feature prominently in the offense. We just added Ben Hargrove to the board. I don't know if we can make up any ground. We'll see. I don't know.
It doesn't look like it. If we're not putting any points on him right now, then it's pretty much pointless right now. 39.85.
We'll see. Hayden's sitting there too. Jack Johnson? Well, Little Rock's got more of a realistic shot there. Evangelo Jones, like you said, we're scaling back. We just added Darrell Brooks to the board too.
We need to be taking points off of Jack Johnson.
Okay.
We're going to pull off of Jack Johnson.
Who are you going?
We're going with Darrell Brooks. Got to go after Darrell Brooks. No, sorry.
Oh.
Go down. Let's go to Roy Hall. Yeah, get that wide receiver. Number 11 wide receiver, 6'1", 4-star athlete. I like it.
He wants to go to Little Rock or Shreveport, though. Bradshaw in the mix. That's a big deal if Camu can get him.
Yep.
And then Tywan Davis, we're number 2.
From Detroit, Michigan, and he's considering going all the way out to Kansas.
Yeah, Ball State. Come on, man.
Harold Reed, though, this is huge right now. 1,300 points ahead of ACU. 4-star running back, power running back. This is the type of guy that they need in that backfield once Jake Fritz and Rulio Boggs are gone. I know that they got Jameel Carter, but he's doing all sorts of different things. They need a solid, full-time running back.
Yep, Terrence Smith, tight end. Another tight end just added to the board. Kyle Owens at corner. Sidney Garcia. Well, at least we got a visit before Washington does. TJ Wells out of Mississippi. They're fighting with Broken Arrow again for more recruits. Michael Williams, athlete. Just added Marlon Butler out of Ogallala, Nebraska. Jared Wood out of JUCO from Bottineau, North Dakota. So a couple, they trying to get some defenders. Trying to see if we got any more players down here, but let's just look and see what they need. They're pretty well stocked for the future, but obviously defense, they got a couple areas where they need a couple more players. Gonna be hit hard. Graduation at cornerback especially.
Let's go ahead and talk about the Dust Devils.
All right, Paris Austin out of Lubbock is that highly sought-after JUCO as an 89 overall, and it's between right now ACU, Odessa, and Broken Arrows hanging around there too. And you see the visit. We got a visit week 9. So that's what that's looking like. Jason Kelly. Ooh, safety. They need all that secondary help.
Doug Williams, Not the Doug Williams for the Washington Redskins from back in the 80s.
Thermopolis, Wyoming. Would you recruit players out of Wyoming?
Odessa seems to like his game.
Tony Barnes, linebacker. That would be a huge get out of Savannah, Georgia. And then Russell, we talked about, versus Kansas A&M. Jimmy Brown. What do you think here? You got 3 Texas teams.
4 Texas teams.
Well, Midland's out of it.
Oh, well, yeah. He's all right. Pretty good. 6'2", 192 is a really good... It seems like he's a receiver. I feel like he's a receiver. Doesn't he look like a receiver to you?
Yeah, it could be... Ooh, quarterback. He can play quarterback.
Yeah, throw power, throw accuracy.
Elusiveness.
Route running's a C, so yeah, he looks like he's an offensive player for sure. I'm hoping Amarillo gets him.
Yeah, Jason Gibbs, quarterback, or safety for Amarillo, looking to them there. Carl Everett.
What's up with all these actual pro athlete names? Carl Everett was a player for the Houston Astros. For you guys
baseball.
know.
Steve Copeland, tackle. So they're in some recruiting battles with Amarillo. This is a guy that nobody really wants, other than Little Rock, and we'll talk about that when we get to their board. But Amarillo's kind of got their guy. Odessa's kind of got their guy. So, and he wants to go to Amarillo or Odessa.
Little Rock could easily pounce on this player, Justin Davis, and you know what? As the #1 pocket passer, Gunnar Rivers obviously he's got 2 more seasons. Two more seasons.
Unless he wants to go pro.
Unless he wants to go pro next year.
So we'll talk about that when we get to their board. Jerome Bush, again, Amarillo versus Odessa there. Lawrence Keller, kind of a speedy back. Clint Covington and Childs Harris in the lead for him. Now, Odessa is going to need some tackles as well, so we'll talk about that. Ian Hyven is in second with Odessa there. Ricky Scroggins again. So they're trying to build up some depth down there on defense. And then Chi-Chi, we gave up on Chi-Chi. It's going to be up to Amarillo to get Chi-Chi Montoya. But you see here, wide receiver, we have 10 targeted wide receivers, I guess. And then outside of that, we're going to lose 6 senior offensive linemen. So that's going to be an area of high need.
It's been weird with Odessa. They lost a lot of players on defense. Then they brought in a bunch of players on defense, a lot of freshmen. Now that's going to happen on offense.
Yeah.
It happened on defense, it's going to happen on... So basically Odessa, they haven't been able to get on the same page with both parts of the field. So that's obviously a very bad thing for consistency. Another team that's doing really, really well here this season is Shreveport. And obviously, honestly, the recruits are starting to come in.
Yeah, this is the best class that they're going to be set up with to date. In our Dynasty, Jordy Davis is big-time safety. He's looking at Shreveport. Josh Cook, big-time athlete. I mean, let's see what he can do. Not a passer, so 94 speed.
Oh, my goodness.
And he's got some
catching,
spin move,
route running, release.
Coverage, so he's going to be a DB or a receiver.
94 speed, 96 excel.
That's going to be a DB or wideout.
Shreveport needs that guy, man.
Yeah,
they need some explosiveness on offense.
Gerald Anderson, they're in a recruiting battle with you. Paris Mack, safety. Jason Morris, this is another big guy that they want to go after and get, who doesn't play quarterback, but he's got 92 speed. So, got some good options here. Hayden at fullback. Andre Baker is the guy they're going to try to make a move on. So it's between us and or Little Rock and Shreveport right now.
They're going to have to make a bigger push than what they are right now, I tell you that.
Possibly, but they got to get some of these guys like Joseph Larriere, Louisiana, in first place for him. Roy Hall. What do you think about Bradshaw? Do you think he'd be a good fit?
No.
No?
Nope. I honestly don't. I'm not sure why Shreveport is going to try to keep going after him. I mean, 6'5", 222, he might be more used as more of a blocker. I know they've got Herschel Gates, and that's kind of his role. I don't know. They're not much of a passing team.
But they could be, right? If they had the personnel, I think they would adapt. But
it's going to take some time,
yeah.
I think. If Orion Bradshaw goes there, it's going to take him about maybe 2 years to get into that passing role. Samson Stewart here, the outside linebacker out of Aztec, New Mexico, 6'5", 226 at linebacker. Taiwan Davis, they're also going after him. as well as Camu.
Yep.
Going down here to Jay Holmes. So we got a Jay Balmer and a Jay Holmes. 15-30. They are pretty much out of this running here.
Well, you want to give
so
up?
Let's give up on him, and let's actually go after. Let's go after a little bit
that
harder.
Baker dude?
We need to go after Baker. Yes, 655 points now on Baker. Try to make a push, get that middle linebacker. That'll help out big time. So Drew Bonds, a wide receiver here. It doesn't look like we're going to get him either. I think that Amarillo
you want
is
to hang
really
around,
pushing
stay in the
on.
mix, though.
You got to hang around for sure, but I don't think that we're going to make it till the offseason for him. Joseph Peterson, middle linebacker, we can probably pull off a little bit, just a little bit, not a whole lot, just a little bit. Albert Willis, a tight end. Honestly, well, they got Jay Balmer. They don't really need to be focused on tight end a whole lot, so we can pull off of that a little bit. Let's see, Jason Hopkins, athlete, William Moses, he's a goner. Mike House, let's go after Mike House a little bit more there. Yeah, right there. That's
okay.
good. That's good. So we need a
Tim Martin.
They
They don't need these running backs. That's
don't-
why we're just waiting on those guys.
Yep.
And we did have some news here. Unfortunately, Jamil Aziz, you are going to LSU. They just totally
Wipe
blew
the
us
floor,
out
man.
of the water. Like, we tried, man. We tried so hard. Look at all the top schools, all the Big 12 teams going after Jamil. And he was just dead set on LSU. So,
It happens.
yeah, it was all there was to that.
Happens. So we actually have 80 more points to go here. So let's see. Let's just do something a little live here. Let's see where we're going to go after, where we're going to apply these extra points here. Where are we going to look at here? Okay, you made an executive
What do you
decision.
think? What do you think?
Josh, yes. We were just talking about him and singing
this
his
guy's
praises.
amazing.
Yeah, you need him. This one's an interesting board for me, honestly, because Little Rock's got a lot of things that they need to focus on to make sure that they capitalize on Gunnar Rivers' presence here.
He's not going to last for very long.
That's why they're going after this guy, Justin Davis, the #1 quarterback. And I think that Gunnar Rivers' presence and just being in a Little Rock uniform is going to help recruit Justin Davis.
Yeah, do you think we need more points on him? Because, like, Minnesota's the only other contender here. Because Amarillo and Odessa are not going that hard after him. Because they don't really need him.
We can try to see where we can skim a little bit once we start looking at the
I'm not skimming here. You can't do that.
Nope, you can't. Larry Butler, the #11, run blocking guard. You need some offensive linemen because obviously against that Clemson team, in that Clemson game you guys saw in opening week, that was brutal.
It was
That was
brutal.
absolutely brutal. Gerald Hicks, down a grand.
You got to visit, though.
You got a visit coming up.
Week 10.
You got to keep the 700 on him. DeAnthony Akobo,
Bail.
a JUCO middle linebacker at 78.
We don't have a visit, though.
You're not going to get him. If you didn't get a visit, you're not going to get him. So let's just take that off. Go with Justin Davis. That actually, from 355 down to 335 plus the 270. I like that. I like the way that that's headed. Brandon McKinney there, down 285. I like where we're headed against Southern Miss. Mike Nicholson. This is a lost cause as well. Looking like Iowa, or was that Denver Tech? Was that Denver Tech?
Yeah.
It was. Okay. Zach Campbell, another offensive lineman that Little Rock was going after, just not going to get him.
Yeah, I just got in here the other day, and we're bailing on a lot of these guys because we're down multiple thousands on a lot of these guys, and we're going to take them off the board and try to find some people who might have a crack at.
Yep.
But it was kind of disappointing.
Well, the obvious thing that you want to do is you want to show what the strategy is, and then let you guys know that we're taking people off. And then in the next recruiting update, we'll show you guys who we put on. So,
yeah,
obviously,
Jax Johnson. We talked about him. I think that's a guy who could really fit in with Little Rock. Unfortunately, Colorado's going to beat us to that visit. But Andre Baker was the other guy, and they're looking at a lot of different quarterbacks too. Because look at this guy, Chris Dennis out of Miami. What do you think about him?
nobody's looking at him, man. He's a 4-star, 6'4" quarterback that can move. That's pretty valuable. We don't know the scouting on him yet. He could be kind of falling off as the reason why nobody's looking at him, but he's a guy that might be worth something here. So looking at the wide receiver, Roy Hall, we saw him on a couple other recruiting boards. Recently, quarterback Matt Smiley, #8, he's 6'5", and he's looking at Little Rock as well. So
they're definitely planning to replace Gunnar pretty soon. They want an experienced veteran that can step in. I mean, hopefully when Gunnar leaves as a senior, one of these guys will be a redshirt sophomore or something like that, and they can take over the job. But
the way that I'm looking at this right now for Little Rock, I think that Buddy Monroe and his staff realize what's happening here to the Little Rock team. Gunnar Rivers came in and has vaulted the program. So possibly, very possibly, the next guy to come up after Gunnar Rivers is going to be the guy that actually pushes this team to something bigger.
Yeah, I mean, it has a tendency to work like that for sure. And this guy, I think he would be a big get here, Albert Willis, tight end. They had a couple defensive linemen up there that were looking pretty good. They lost out on the Ian Hyman sweepstakes. Josh Edwards out of Aldine, Texas. And a couple of guys down here who have Little Rock number 1 or 2. So we're going to clean this board up a little bit. I mean, we got to take off like 8 or 9 players that were well behind. And maybe they can shore up the class a little bit better. All right, let's look at Broken Arrow. This is a team that's kind of been a recruiting powerhouse recently, and they put together 2 of the best classes in the Big 12 over the last 2 years, and they're trending in the right direction. So let's see if they can keep the momentum going. Paris Austin, Broken Arrow is in 5th place, and they are putting all of their weight on Paris Austin for 700, down by 400. But Paris Austin is... we don't know if he likes Brian Street as his quarterback. He's been thinking like, I don't know, but if he goes here, he might have Lamont Christian in a couple years.
The deal with Paris Austin is what it seems like he wants to be a part of. He wants to be part of a pass-happy attack. I mean, look at where he's looking at. He's looking at Baylor, ACU, Odessa. Now, that might be a Texas thing because TCU's up there too, but, you know, Broken Arrow with Brian Street, he's running the football a lot. So.
Yeah, I mean, Paris Austin was a rival school with Gunnar Rivers out of Lubbock, got into an altercation with Gunnar Rivers, so he's got something against quarterbacks. He's a very feisty individual, and he's very picky about which quarterback he plays with.
Well, here's the problem with ACU's issues at quarterback that they've had. They've had one guy start every single year, and now they've got quarterback controversy, it seems like.
Well, they got Russell in the pipeline next year.
Maybe this is the duo, Austin and Russell.
Russell would be the best quarterback on this board that he would play with. So hopefully he's compatible. Evan Towns at guard, very highly sought after there. Buchanan Simmons out of Ardmore. You know what I've noticed is Broken Arrow really steps on your toes in recruiting. They really do. In Oklahoma,
yeah, they'd like to be trolls with us. It's like, oh, well, we're going to, even if we can't get this guy, we're going to make you seem like we're going to get him. So,
and you know what? Oklahoma and Oklahoma State are going on the tubes. And it's probably because of Broken Arrow Ardmore. They are eclipsing those institutions. Like in the state of Oklahoma. Those are institutions.
Well, this is a long time coming.
Yeah, Ardmore, Broken Arrow are surpassing them.
It's not like these teams just plopped in this, 3 years ago.
Right.
These teams have been around for a little while.
And this is one of those guys, Jimmy Bergstrand. Broken Arrow in the lead there.
Stepping on our toes.
Yeah, exactly. James Coles, that's a guy I could see him going any which way. Richard Washington out of Louisiana. A couple passing schools there. McAllen, Odessa. Jamar Diggs, they're right behind you. Breathing down your neck. And Tyler McFadden.
Yep.
There you go again.
There we go again.
Jeremy Terrell. There we go again.
Damn you, Uba.
TJ Wells. That's a big one there. I think he would really help them out. They do have a ton of running backs already, so Lawrence Keller would kind of help them out. Kilpatrick looks like a gem. They had him +7. So 90, they like
92
him a lot.
Acceleration, too. I mean, this guy, linebacker, 92 acceleration?
Yeah.
Louis Marshall. Was I looking at that right?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
This guy can move, man.
He's good coverage, too. That's what they want him for. Samson Stewart, they're going after Ian Hyven. They're in the lead. They have him listed as 73. I saw him at a 69, I think, on Odessa. We'll see what happens there. Colton Yo is kind of this flex player who can kind of play whatever. I think Broken Arrow would probably want him at cornerback, as I'll show you in a second. Tranigan, right behind you. You got more defensive players, another tackle. Like, they want to hit these tackles really hard. Chris Hurst, they're right there with Oklahoma. Lance Bailey, another battle with you. So, how do you feel about that?
I don't.
Do you welcome the challenge? The right response is to say, I don't consider Broken Arrow.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
As I don't have a response because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We haven't lost to them, so it doesn't matter.
Colby
right
Bolton.
now.
Yeah, Colby Bolton, number 1 for Broken Arrow. But let's just take a brief look here and see what they need. Not too much offensively. They're going to lose 4 senior wideouts, which is a big loss. They're going to lose 3 senior cornerbacks and 3 senior linebackers.
That's kind of an issue.
Yeah, they do need to definitely restock as far as that goes.
Kind of a surprising team here, Amarillo. They honestly didn't look like they were going to have this good of a year. So when we were looking at this recruiting board to start off the season, it seemed like a shot in the dark. They were taking a nice shot in the dark. But now that the team is playing really well, it looks like some of these players are starting to catch on and be like, okay, I see what you're doing here. This is a good institution that you guys are building up.
The problem is Coach Barry's sort of on the hot seat.
You're right.
So they got to make a bowl game,
right?
I think, to make these players happy. But Jason Kelly, this player is looking pretty good here.
Yeah, a +5 in the scouting department. So he was a 75 +5, now in 82. Actually, no, 77 +5 is 82. Maths is hard. Halfback Brandon Lee, 5-star, number 2. They need this guy. But it doesn't look like they're going to get him. Down 1,400 to Ohio State. They're going to keep going, though. They're going to keep trying. Tony Barnes, the outside linebacker, down 13.
What do you think about that? Odessa's got the visit.
Yeah, Odessa's probably going to get him.
Bail.
I would think it's probably a good thing to bail.
Cooper locked us out, too.
Going with D'Anthony Okobo. They can stick with Okobo here. I think they're in some striking distance. Got a lot of wiggle room there. Joseph Pierre, a 78 overall corner, a 3-star though. 3-star, 78. That might actually come down.
Well, we got almost 300 points to play with, so you tell me what to do here.
We need to look at the list a little bit more.
Yeah.
Jimmy Brown, 220, a 5-star athlete.
Ooh.
Let's check him out real quick because he's 100% scouted. Let's see what he can do.
Throwing.
So he's got elusiveness.
Scrambling quarterback.
Moves. Catching's a 70, route running's a 71, so he can play a little wide receiver there too. I think you need to go after him. Go for it. Plop him on there. There we go. Okay. Pierre Meyer. Looks like we can pull off points on him too.
Ooh. You're good.
We can pull off.
We do need to offer him a scholarship.
Pull off, like big time. Yep. That's good.
Eric Robbins, Scally.
Yep. Apply it. Okay, so we're looking pretty solid here. Jamar Diggs, 205. Do
you want to go after Davis as Amarillo? Because I have Galveston.
Oh, he's the number 1 quarterback.
What do you think?
He is the number 1 quarterback. Might need to see in how Odessa does. Because if you go up here and look at quarterback, they're only 100. Okay, so yeah, we got 100 points here, but we're only up 35. And given the fact that D.D. Dukes is not really playing to Justin Davis's play style, that's probably going to, I guess no matter if we apply how many ever points to get Justin Davis, Odessa might end up grabbing him anyway, because...
I don't know. They got Dowdell and Johnson, though.
Which
is why I'm saying I don't know why he would want that competition, but...
We'll just wait it out for another week. We'll see how that goes. Kadir Childs Harris, 72 overall. Wide receiver, 305. I don't know. This is interesting. We got Nathan Hearn down there at wide receiver.
Ooh. What about Kyle Smith? What do you think here?
We need to pull off.
You got a visit, though.
Oh.
Only plus 600.
Good point. Well,
Want to give it a shot?
Just leave him on there.
Week 13, though, so it's going to be a while.
Week 13. These are tough calls, guys. These are tough calls.
They are. Paul Alvarez.
Let's pull off and put those points on the quarterback.
On Davis?
Yep.
All of them? I want a little more, maybe. What do you think? What about Larriere and Scroggins?
No, Scroggins is fine.
All right.
Yep, we should be good. We should be all right.
I got 20 points left, man.
Put him on. Put him there, Jeremy Jackson.
Boom, right there.
Okay.
So yeah, Chi-Chi. Now, what do you think about this? We're trying everything we can to get Chi-Chi. He belongs in the Amarillo uniform.
He does. But you got to keep him on then. You got to keep him on.
Because the way I see it, he's got a visit in week 8, and if we keep putting 700, like, do we think SMU and Houston are getting like 700 on him? We're trying to get this guy, and he wants nothing to do with the Big 12.
3, 4, 5. Right, yeah. I say you got to keep him on.
Let's give it a shot, and we'll see what happens.
Yep, I like that idea.
All right, let's take a look at McAllen. They've already got some guys signed here. Colton Daniels, an 80 overall cornerback.
Hot sauce.
Derek Williams. Yeah, they look like a bottle of hot sauce. That was the idea. That was the idea. Nick Mays, that running back that we talked about. This guy, Josh Weeks. They are currently in the lead there out of Galveston. Tony Barnes right on Odessa's heels. And Brandon McKinney, let's see what their visit situation is. Haven't scheduled it yet. I think we'll keep him on. Dan Frazier we're going to keep on. Cooper, going to keep applying that pressure on Ardmore for Jeff Cooper. What do you think about that?
We've already lost Jeff Cooper.
You
I mean,
think so?
honestly, I'm not even... We're just trying to go after him just to make sure something like crazy happens, but odds are not going to happen in our favor. So
Akobo.
go for it, McAllen. Go for it.
McAllen's in the lead for D'Anthony Akobo. Jimmy Brown right on their heels. Larry Covington, a JUCO. Dwayne King in a battle with Texas A&M. Carl Everett way behind Gerald Anderson. Still in striking distance. Robert Powell. This guy's too good to be going to UConn, man, don't you think?
Got to start somewhere.
James Coles right on the heels there. Another battle with A&M. And we got RJ Jackson out of Clover Leaf, Texas. Copeland is a guy that everybody's wants a piece of there. Kennedy is gone. McAllen was the only hope there. Bradshaw, I kind of just gave up there. I'll show you their needs here in a second, but Jean-Luc Martin is looking at
Big time.
McAllen.
Big time. So he's going to come from Canada all the way down to Texas.
South Texas.
So he's going to come from each border.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. And then they were going after Aziz. But they're also in the mix here, in the lead, I should say, for Salone and Rigoberto Ramirez.
What is this? McAllen's going to become the new subscriber team?
That'd be the sub-favorite. Now, they have 5 freshman receivers, which is why I didn't want to use any points on trying to make a comeback on Bradshaw, because they got some other guys up here that were in a little better spot to get.
Got a big week coming up this week. Ardmore against Midland State. So hopefully if we win, we can knock some of their recruits down a little bit.
Yeah.
Be like, no, I don't want to go there. I want to go to Ardmore.
How about this? Midland has no room to offer Paris Austin a visit. So, and they're in 8th.
Yikes.
Are they giving up?
It looks like they're giving up, man.
I
you
don't
can't
think
catch
can
up. If you don't have a visit, you can't catch up.
Yeah, and Hassan Bonner way behind on Bonner. I think Akobo might as well go up to 600. This guy in Oklahoma. I'm thinking maybe just keep going. I don't know. Hicks were way behind. And let's take a look at their needs first, actually. I want to show you guys this. So they're pretty set on offense, but they need 3 cornerbacks. They're like totally going to be barren at corner, which is why you can see all of the targeted cornerbacks on this list. So they definitely want guys in the secondary, like Antonio Hall. They're a little way behind. We got in late on him. Got a visit coming up. We'll see what happens. Carl Everett looking good there. McNair. I don't know.
Midland's losing ground, man.
Yeah. Yikes. Doug Williams.
They need to be putting points up on that corner.
Hall?
No. They at least need to get somebody in there.
Yeah. They got some guys here. I mean, Pierre, looking at him. Got some guys down here, too. Kyle Owens, Greer, Kelly, Colton Yo, they're in first place. Colton might have a lot of playing time off the bat here, too. So then they got kind of their contingency plan down here. Guys listed in the 60s. This is not shaping up very well for Midland State. We wasted a lot of points chasing some of these top recruits up here.
Once we get into about week 8 and week 9, if they don't have a single corner signed yet, they need to be getting those contingency plans signed and hope that the guys they really want are still available, and then they can land them later, because you got to fill your needs.
Yeah.
You got to fill those up. Now it's time to check out the top 25 before we head into week number 6 for the conference play. Denver Tech and ACU in the top 2.
Yeah, let's see what's going on around the rest of college football. Wisconsin is also in contention for #1 votes. Alex Hornibrook is turning into this, like,
God.
Dan Marino, which I can't explain that. But you see this matchup here, Ardmore Midland. Huge matchup this week. A lot of undefeated teams. Obviously, conference play yet to really kick off. But how about this? Texas going down to Washington. See a couple more teams. Little Rock, 3-1. Camu, 4-0. Shreveport, the Shreve.
A lot of weird things happening right now. Little Rock really struggled against Clemson. Everybody thought that they were going to kind of have a down year. I still think that in conference play they will. But they're kind of bringing their season back up a little bit, going 3-1 now. And then Camu and Shreveport really surprising people.
Yeah, McAllen has broken into the top 25.
But see, those overalls are kind of misleading because I'm looking at McAllen and saying, yeah, I'm surprised. But looking at the overall, you would think otherwise.
Others receiving votes. We got no Big 12 teams receiving votes. But we do have, what is that going to be? 8? We got 8 in the top 25 right now. Big 12, undoubtedly the best conference in college football at this moment. All right, the He Is Man watch. Alex Hornibrook, like I said, look at this guy. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Alex Hornibrook.
32 touchdowns last season.
Yeah, 3,000 yards. Threw the ball 382, 364 times. He throws the ball about 210 times a year.
At Wisconsin.
I would guess. I'm just guessing, not even looking at his numbers. Can't explain it. Alex Makovich, though, is looking pretty good here. 10 touchdowns, 1 pick, 1043.
It's pretty solid, man. I was not on his bandwagon.
Yeah, he's got 5 touchdowns rushing to go with 237. So Claudio Keller as well. Looking at his numbers, I mean, look at how he's progressing. He's become more of a focal point in Midland's offense so far.
Average yards per game going up by almost 50, 60. Really good, man. Rushing touchdowns, he's already on pace to beat what he had last season. He's having a really good year.
Yeah, good candidate to win this. And then, Makovich will be, Denver Tech, they got quarterback U going on right now. I think Oklahoma's been replaced.
All right, we're going to actually take a look at Big 12 Players of the Week. We're going to go through Week 1 all the way up until week number 5.
Yeah,
and let you guys know.
We haven't done it yet.
Yep,
so
right.
Let's give you guys a look and go back down memory lane the last 2.5 weeks and just see what happened there. Tyler McKinney got those 3 sacks against Arizona State. Shinaski, pretty efficient against Air Force. I think it was a light week. I think that's why he got the nod.
Tyler McKinney, if you guys remember, I called him Gumby. He does not look like that. He does not look like that. He does not have those broad shoulders.
In the
He's
game.
really skinny. Yeah.
Week 2 was Kyle Myers against Fresno with 2 forced fumbles. And then Brian Street absolutely obliterated the rival Tulsa with 464 yards passing. And then Kenny Braverman against Oklahoma State racked up 14
tackles.
I think that experiment has worked. He converted from safety.
He can do it all, man.
Yeah.
He can seriously do it all. He can cover. He's got enough speed to come in on the run. He's a little bit undersized, though, for a linebacker, being a strong safety, but he's holding his own, man.
He can make those tackles. And then Nathan Rowe obliterated Bowling Green, 201 with 5 total touchdowns. He had a kickoff return in that game. Price Greer against Cincinnati got a sack and a fumble. And then Makovich versus Hawaii accounted for 7 touchdowns. And then next week, Makovich versus Boise. Did not quite have the same game, but a very good game as well. And then Machado, we watched him against Arizona have a sack, and he forced the fumble on Khalil Tate. So let's see if we had any NCAA honors from any of these guys. No, Alex Hornibrook against Alabama scored 6 touchdowns. Tell me what universe that's possible. Brian Street against Tulsa, and then Rowe, and then Makovich, and that was it.
Okay, so Denver Tech and Uba representing.
All right, let's check out the injury report. You guys got a little bit of a look at it a couple weeks ago in the game universe. Would have been last week. Eric Trichinger is going to be probable for his game against Amarillo, clean bill of health. Ardmore, clean bill of health. I bet you like that.
We are healthy going into that conference opener against Midland.
Denver Tech, Erickson still out 2 weeks. Let's see if we got anything else. Evan Evelyn strained his back. So whoever the trainer is there, you might want to look into this strained back epidemic going on at McAllen.
Must be that powerlifting.
Could be. But he's going to be out 10 weeks. That's a long time. Nobody injured. Nebraska State like that. And I talked about this. Odessa's offensive line is falling apart here. You got Romine and then Brewster. So their top 2 offensive linemen are down. And then Shreveport is healthy.
You guys know what time it is. It's time to make our picks, previews, and predictions for week number 6 for conference play. Now, if you guys go to the website, you guys can make your picks now. It is up and running, so you guys will be able to do that. Nebraska State at Little Rock. So Little Rock is currently 2-0 against Nebraska State. Now, this is in Little Rock. It's not going to be a very good situation for Nebraska State. I will say
Why
that.
not?
I'm picking Little Rock to beat you.
I like the way our defense is playing. We're number 8. The last game we played, we had Northwestern to -8 yards rushing. And, I mean, Little Rock can't run the ball, so the only way they're going to beat us is by passing, which sets up for them. I mean, they do have Gunnar Rivers, so we have to account for that. I will pick myself. I think I'm going to get revenge here.
Wow.
I think we're going to beat Little Rock this
So,
time.
would you remind the viewers on exactly who Nebraska State played in the out-of-conference games?
Northwestern, Nebraska, Air Force, and San Jose State.
Oh, that's why they're number 8. I told you.
Nebraska's tough,
Nebraska is tough, but they're the toughest opponent that you have played.
and we lost.
And you lost. So I'm taking Little Rock, more talented team. Gunnar Rivers will slice and dice the crap out of you. So bye-bye, Prairie Dogs. Go back in your hole. Denver Tech against Broken Arrow. So this is in Oklahoma.
Oof.
And Broken Arrow's offense, I think, can hang with Denver Tech. I think they can hang in there. It's just Alex Makovich looks like the real deal. They are number 1 in points per game. The passing offense is number 5. Total defense is number 4. Brian Street and Broken Arrow offense is going to have their hands full.
Yeah, they really are. However, I think they will be able to score, like you alluded to. I think they can score with Denver. And I think home field is going to push them over the top. I'm feeling an upset. I'm going to go Broken Arrow.
I'm not going to go that far, my friend. It's just not. I don't see it in the cards right now. I think Denver Tech is just way too strong.
They are really strong. Like, I have to give them that.
Everything
credit,
has to go
obviously.
right for Uba to win that game.
Yeah, I do. But I just feel like Brian Street tasted the bitter taste of defeat against Utah. I think they're going to use it as motivation moving forward. And we'll see what the weather report says. It might be kind of soggy. I don't know. That's the luck right now.
It's kind of a stretch, man. In my humble opinion, that's kind of a stretch.
Okay.
I think Denver Tech will win this game.
All right, we got a game here that figures to be a bit of a shootout. You got Odessa State at McAllen. McAllen is starting to roll. Like they're humming right now, firing on all cylinders. And Odessa, I do have to say, Danny Booker has looked amazing in his audition.
Yes, he
As
did.
a redshirt senior that's never been higher than 3rd string, like, wow. I mean, kudos, man.
Yeah, it really makes you question on Montana Flynn being a system quarterback. So
Yeah,
we'll actually have an NFL update for you guys next week, Wednesday. And honestly, you gotta really start to analyze that part of Odessa, because when you've got a guy like even Croft, was it Croft or Kraft?
Yeah.
It was Kraft in that bowl game. He came in and he was lighting it up. So whether it's the system or not, you can't discredit Odessa quarterbacks. And I think that if Danny Booker can repeat what he did against this McAllen team, and their defense, I mean, is okay. It's pretty decent. It's not amazing, but
They're 19th right now.
if they can hang with Harkless Blair and Carson Jackson, and I think they might be okay.
I mean, outside of that Memphis game, like Houston, NC State, Army, they actually have worked him over a little bit. So, I don't know, man. I will take McAllen, though. I think they're just a little more balanced, both sides of the ball.
I'm going to take Odessa.
Okay.
I'm going to take Odessa because I know that Harkless Blair has been good. He's been better. I just think McAllen's bound to screw up. They're that type of team. They are a screw-up type of organization. So I'm going to go with Odessa.
All right, the big one, Midland versus Ardmore. You are going to play host here. And I like the way your defense is playing. Midland, though, has looked really solid, really on all phases of the game. Like, they don't have a weakness, I don't think.
Midland should be number 4. We should be number 5, honestly. I think that the experts have this ranking screwed up a little bit. Midland State can score. We're more of a running type of team. I know we can put up 30 points per game, but you know, our defense has been playing decently, but not great. I don't know. This is really tough for me. I think that we're going to have to choose some clock. We're going to have to stick with what we do best, and that's not having John Hicks throw 30 times per game. He's not a Cade Wilson. He's not a Cody Shanahan. Yep. He's a playmaker with his legs. Short, quick throws, a lot of misdirections type of stuff. Kill some clock. Hopefully we can grind it out, beat Midland State by basically keeping Dexter Whiteside off the field. And those
and Claudio Keller.
7 wide receivers in the 90s.
I'll take Ardmore.
Plus, you got to think that I haven't played this game in.
Well, you played last week.
You
played, against Louisville. Got a little game under your belt.
I'll go with myself just because I think that I can stick to the game plan.
All right, ACU and Amarillo. We got Amarillo coming in with a 13th ranked total offense. Now, they did play, for lack of a better word, 3 scrubs to start the year. Did run into Michigan State, but they hung up 31 and they got stopped in front of the goal line. They might have scored if they had a little more time, which could have been 38 points. So, defense is getting shredded, though. But, you know, ACU's got their own quarterback situation going on between Vajicic and Russell, and they don't know who's going to play. I don't know, what are your thoughts on this one?
My take on this is I think D.D. Dukes, as efficient as he has been, I think that Amarillo is going to lose this game simply due to the fact that ACU's defense is ferocious.
Yeah.
The defensive line is legit. That secondary is even more legit. And I think that if Amarillo is going to win this game, they're going to have to run the football. Throwing the football is probably not a recipe for success because the more times you throw it, the more times that you're risking it getting intercepted by the likes of Cedric Granger, Stevens,
Clayton, all those guys.
Yeah, I think that ACU is going to win this game. They're going to uphold that number 2 ranking, and it's not even going to be close.
I think Amarillo will push them a little bit, but can't see them getting the W here. ACU all the way.
One of the more interesting games for week number 6 in conference play opening up.
Yeah.
Camu against Shreveport, 19 against 22. 2 kind of surprising teams. We all know that the storyline behind Camu is that they have changed their offensive game plan, and it's been working.
It's been a smash hit, man.
Number 9 offense in the country, and honestly, they're doing really good things there. Their out-of-conference schedule is really tough. They took care of business there. Yeah, Shreveport, on the other hand, is also scoring a ton of points with a new quarterback.
Shreveport's marquee win was Arizona State, which they won by 7. They're 0-4. Just throwing that out there. Struggled to beat UL Monroe.
Right.
So they're skating by. They're getting by on the skin of their teeth. And I think Camu's a legitimately great team.
Yep.
I think they should win this one. Suffocating defense and potent, balanced offensive attack.
The only hurdle that I have to jump through right here is that Shreveport is, I think they're 13-2?
Something like that, yeah.
They're 13-2 in 2 seasons at the Shreve.
Yeah. That's daunting. That's daunting. And
their defense, guys, is number 12 in the nation. Yeah. So they're actually, you said suffocating defense for Camu. Camu's number 18. Shreveport's number 12.
Played a lot easier teams, though.
That's very true. I think that the overall rating right there, A+ to B-, it's Camu all the way. Camu's going to keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. Even though I like both teams, they're my babies.
Yep.
I'm going to go with Camu. All right, so guys, in review, I am taking Little Rock, Denver Tech, Odessa, Ardmore, ACU, and Camu.
All right, I got Nebraska, Broken Arrow in an upset, McAllen, Ardmore, ACU, and Camu. So let us know in the comments who you guys are picking as well. I'm excited to see all the banter, this is what we like to break out every year, every season we do it. Opening conference play. You guys get double uploads Saturday. So you guys are going to have all 6 games will be shown. So, it's early in the season. Like, we don't know which teams are going to be where. So we don't know which games are going to be important. So we don't want to short anybody or slight anybody when the conference schedule kicks off.
You don't want to get into like week 8, week 9, week 10, and then having not shown any of the other teams.
Yeah, like,
That
oh wow,
kind of fell
Cameron
off.
Shreveport was actually a, Big 12 championship preview or whatever. Or Denver Tech Broken Arrow, something like that.
That would be comical.
It
So,
would be.
guys, you can actually go ahead and make your picks as well on the website. I will say that one more time. GoldGloverGaming.com in the Team Builder section on the Pick Center. You guys can go ahead and make your picks. And we have an announcement, too. All of the senior recruits will be having statistic updates for their senior season in high school. We do have a fan-made podcast, Golden Game Days. It's a YouTube channel. The link is in the description below. And those guys are doing a really good job on their podcast. They've got post-game analysis, pre-game analysis as well for game days. And all of the archived podcasts will be uploaded to that YouTube page. And you can also check out the statistics as little updates for those recruited players, for those recruits, those 20 guys that are currently being recruited for their senior season as well. So a lot of loaded stuff, and we can't thank those guys enough, and you guys as well. Might not be as involved, but a lot of you guys who have been involved in this series and making this series as great as it is, we appreciate every single one of you and love you all.
So welcome back.
And welcome back. Yes, I'm glad to be back, guys. It was a 2-week break, but I'm glad to be back here. And again, you did a really good job with the videos, and I like the little cuts and the edits that you had added in. So I think we're going to be using those a lot more. So round of applause for little broski GG9.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to be back, guys. So it's good stuff. So more content obviously coming to the channel as well. So I don't want to dive too much into that because this is college football, but just so you guys know, I'm ready to get back at it for all the other things on the channel. So with that being said, if you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that little red button for subscribe or my logo in the bottom right hand corner. Leave a like if you like this thing, and we will see you guys on Saturday for week number 6 conference play opener. See you guys then. As always, peace.